I met a traveler from an antique land who said, two vast and trunkless legs of stone standing in the desert. Near them, on the sand, half sunk, a shattered visage lies, whose frowned and wrinkled lip and sneer of cold command tell that its sculptor well those passions read, which yet survive. Stamped on these lifeless things, the hand that mocked them and the heart that fed. And on the pedestal these words appear, my name is Ozymandias, King of Kings. Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair. Nothing beside them remains. Round the decay of the colossal wreck, boundless and bare, the lone and level sand stretched far away. Percy Shelley wrote that as a romantic poet. I recently watched a movie called Alien Covenant, and they quoted this. And I won't give the movie away, but and it's an android. He only picked the two sentences from it that he liked and used it to justify his genocidal tendencies. But the point of this little poem is about foolish kings who build massive kingdoms for themselves and think it actually means something. There's another version of the poem that's really actually is a little bit more accessible to us by Horace Smith. In Egypt's sandy silence, all alone let's try it again. In Egypt's sandy silence, all alone stands a gigantic leg which far off throws the only shadow that the desert knows. I am great, Ozymandias saith the stone. The King of Kings, this mighty city shows the wonders of my hand. The city's gone, not but the leg remains to disclose the site of this forgotten Babylon. We wonder, and some hunter may express wonder like ours, when through the wilderness where London stood, holding the wolf in chance, he meets some fragment hue and stops to guess at what powerful, unrecorded race once dwelt in that annihilated place. Now, this is a theme that is old as mankind himself. You could go all the way back to Adam and Eve in the garden. Essentially, Adam and Eve cared more about building their own kingdoms than they actually about the work of building the kingdom of God. One of the things I've seen on YouTube is sometimes you see people who make videos and then the only thing they really talk about, oh, I want more subscribers, oh, I want more views, now I understand the need for it, but it's almost like subscribers and views are the only reason they're doing it, as if they're trying to build their own mighty works and their own sort of Babylon. When I'm long dead and gone, nobody's going to remember the fish I've caught, nobody's going to remember the motors I've built, nobody's going to remember the products I've imported. Nobody's going to remember anything I'm doing. And ultimately, it's not going to count for anything. That's why I do these Philosophy Friday videos. Because honestly, there's only one kingdom worth building, and that's the kingdom of God itself. Because that's the only kingdom that's going to last. Eventually, this old planet's going to give up the ghost. Our star is going to eventually just peter out and become a neutron star, depending on how long everything lasts before Jesus comes back. Everything that any of us are doing is going to be forgotten after we're dead and gone. Like Ramses II, you go over there to Egypt, there's nothing but a bunch of sand. You know, you might find a couple pyramids here or there, but there's nothing there. There's just nothing there. Long after this place is dead and gone and the weeds of the poison ivy is taking over everything, nobody's going to remember what I've been doing right here in this little yard. Why am I doing what I'm doing? Are you really doing it for the betterment of others? Are you really doing it for me? And for many of you who are watching this, I'm doing this to further the kingdom of God, at least in this small, what seems minuscule part. If it were just me doing it for myself, I would have given up on this long ago. And I see a lot of people on YouTube who they give it 6 months and they quit, because they don't see the millions of subscribers and they don't see the millions of views and all that, because that ultimately is the only reason why they're doing it. And you'll see some channels where there were some good channels. They have some good things going. But there's just the Ozymandias and there's just nothing left. That's all I got for Philosophy Fridays. Check out that movie, Alien Covenant. It's definitely rated R, but there's some things in it that are quite relevant. There's a lot of ecclesiastical wisdom in there about, the wicked prosper and the righteous, perish, those sorts of things. If you're living for something greater than yourself, namely Jesus Christ, who built everything, then I don't have to worry if everything just burns up. Because the treasure I have is in a much better place, and is secured in a much better place. And if all I have are YouTube videos and a business, then that's just not good enough for me. It's just not good enough. There's just nothing in this world good enough. That's something I very rarely see in very many YouTubers. I know not everybody believes what I believe, and that's okay. Well, actually it's not, but that's not up for me to judge or deal with. But I am here to let you know that there's something far better to live for than just whatever little minuscule kingdoms we can build for ourselves on earth. It just ultimately doesn't mean anything, and it doesn't account for anything. Don't be the Ozymandias. You could say Ozymandias, you could say Ebenezer Scrooge, you could say Polonius, however you want to say it, Just keep that in mind.